India go to Lords with answers and England go with questions. Are they going to panic? Are they going to make a whole bunch of bowling changes going into Lords? Because honest truth here, they've been out-bowled, out-battered and even out-fielded. Yes, India's fielding improved a whole bunch. This is my review of day 5. Look, I think there might have been some nerves in the Indian dressing room when that rain was coming down, when the weather looked incredibly bleak. Maybe there were some doubts going around. Oh my goodness, did we get too much? Did we wait too long? But in the end, it all worked out. And yes, another question was perhaps, how is England going to approach this? And look, it's not for lack of trying to draw the match, even though they are very anti-draw. This stat over here proves, and this was their senior batters really, it proves that it's not for lack of trying. 22% in attack mode for Bazball. Unheard of, guys, absolutely unheard of. So they did try, I think, to draw this match. In the end, it didn't work out. I still think some of it can be questioned because when Bryden Carse and Josh Tongue, when they were batting, I'm not saying they made it look easy, but there was no issue with them just blocking the ball. I still felt like some of the English batters tried to score, tried to make runs, try and make them really quickly. I think Duckett was 25 or 14 balls. There's no need for that. I know that's how you play, but you're going to get in situations like this, especially if you're going to be making flat pitches. Do you really think that nobody is going to be able to score 600? Do you really think that you are the only team that's going to be able to score 600? Because I'm going to tell you right now, I will back Australia to do it. I will back New Zealand to maybe do it. I'm going to even back my South Africa to do it. Sri Lanka played really, really bloody well in that third test match. And that was quite a good wicket, actually, a good balance of batting and bowling. But if you're going to now switch things up and make it very batting friendly, you need to accept the fact that there are going to be people who are going to bat like Shubman Gill, who's not going to think, okay, you know what, it's all about a run rate of 4, 5 and over. It's about me being the anchor and the other guys can go around. You're looking at some of the talents all over the world. So I don't know if this strategy is actually good for England. I don't know if it's going to work. You were completely out-bowled, and I think one of the most bizarre things is how the hell did Akash Deep, especially Mohammad Siraj, brilliant as well, but how the hell did Akash Deep managed to bowl some of the balls that he bowled? You think about the one to Harry Brook, you think about the one to Joe Root. Those were absolute jaffers on a flat pitch. And now here I'm going to bring in a fellow friend. Nobody is taking away from the fact that Shubman Gill did what he did. What he did was absolutely phenomenal. You can be a fanboy, you can be an obsessed fan, but it doesn't mean that you have to be an idiot, okay? This pitch was flat. Some of the cracks, apparently, some of the commentators said that maybe Akash is just so incredibly accurate that he was able to hit some of the cracks, because the way some of his balls just shot off the pitch, I'm sitting here and I'm stumped. I can't even give you a reason for it. Is it perhaps an Indian wrist? Can you imagine how Bumrah was? And that's another big thing for England, is the fact that all of this happened without Bumrah. So it might be something to do with Akash Deep's wrist. I'm going to have to study his bowling a bit, because I'm just very intrigued with what the hell he was able to do on a flat pitch. So that's worrying for England. Are they going to panic now? And are they going to be like, you know what, okay, let's get some of these guys out? Because look at these stats, the bowling stats for England. Whoa, that does not read pretty at all if you're an English fan. It just screams that there isn't a strike bowler, that there's not enough spice in the ability. I'm like making up words here, but again, no spearhead. I guess that's one thing that comes to mind, is that bowling attacks are so dependent on somebody to make those early inroads, those initial breakthroughs, which was a major difference between India here and England, was that those early wickets, when you put a team under pressure. Also, the toss decision might now come into play. Ben is very obsessed, I think, with bowling first, and sometimes it's not something that's going to work every time, is it? So you're obsessed with chasing, but sometimes you might just have to look at what's in front of you. again, this is big for baseball. This is it, this World Test Championship. I mean, I cannot think that I want to call it a charade for now, even though I think we're all quite grateful sometimes, even though we don't want to admit it, we're grateful for baseball because it's giving us 5 days of Test match cricket. But again, I also think that's the pitch, right? But is this charade going to continue if England are not going to be successful? Last thing I want to say, and this is something that I've noticed from England for a few years now, actually, is this obsession with the all-round culture, like all-rounders, right? Where are your specialists? I think batting is okay. I mean, I don't know. We'll see in this series because I do think there's some doubts over a few players. But where are your specialists? Especially in bowling. I see this in white ball and I see this in red ball. It's like, where are those specialist fast bowlers? You know, we can't really call Brody just the bowler because he's done so many great things with the bat. But where's a Stuart Broad? Where's a Jimmy Anderson? I mean, they weren't picked for their batting, for goodness sake. They're picked for their bowling because they were so damn good at it. You know, they were strikers. So it's just been an issue for me in English cricket for the last few years. So I don't know, what are your thoughts on that? Because I do think that's an interesting topic that I would like to investigate more actually, but it's just a general feeling that I'm getting is that sometimes I feel like they focus too much on how much a player can do instead of can a player do one damn thing really damn well, right? Like a Shubman Gill coming in and scoring a 430 runs. Dominant display by India. Like I said, they've got their questions answered. And England, well, they've got a couple to answer themselves. It's 1-1 going to Lords. What were your thoughts?